Look at this. Robots didn't just level up, they stole 4 human jobs in 1 week. Most people still think real humanoids are years away from anything practical. Wrong. They're already fighting on live TV, editing viral videos, nursing grandma, and training for chem-war zones. In the next few minutes, you'll see exactly how fast they're moving and what that means for your future and your wallet. I've sifted through all the information and footage so you don't have to. What happens when machines stop pretending to assist us and start living our lives instead? This week alone, robots stepped into a prize-fighting ring, hijacked the editing bay, volunteered as at-home nurses, and suited up for chemical warfare drills. 4 arenas, 1 message. The age of maybe someday is over. Stick around because by the end of this story, you'll be weighing the odds of a robot sharing your apartment, whether you like it or not. The video races through 4 rapid-fire breakthroughs. Unitree Robotics G1 fighters headlining China's World Robot Competition, Deep Agent, Google's Flow, and Adobe's Firefly auto-editing entire TikToks in seconds. UB Tech's 20K caregiver bot squaring off against Tesla's Optimus for your living room, and the US Army's sensor-packed Porton mannequin built on the UK DSTL concept. Testing chem-war suits, plus whispers of EngineAI and Booster Robotics gearing up for December's Mecha Grand Prix. Let's get started. Robots throw the first punch. Just after midnight on May 26th, the lights came up in China's Hunan province, and an announcer's voice cracked across a live stream. Round 1. Fight. On screen, 2 gleaming humanoids squared their shoulders like pro welterweights. They weren't toys or remote-controlled puppets. They were full-sized, titanium-jointed combat machines built by Unitree Robotics, each one taller than a 6th grader and barely heavier than a teenage gymnast. Their very first exchange landed with a dull metallic thud, the kind of sound you feel in your chest more than you hear in your ears. Every robot had a human cornerman behind a console, but the split was clear. Flesh and blood pilots chose tactics while onboard AI kept balance, adjusted torque, and decided exactly how much force each limb could safely absorb. When a left hook spun one fighter off its axis, software lurched into overdrive, firing micro-adjustments through high-bandwidth actuators until the bot found its footing. Faster than many amateurs regained their composure after a slip, the crowd gasped, then roared. This was no choreographed stunt. That first bout kicked off the World Robot Competition's new Mecha Fighting Series, a tournament the organizers likened to an MMA pay-per-view mashed up with an esports broadcast. It delivered. Showcase rounds featured solo demo routines, straight punches, spinning back kicks, footwork drills ripped from a kickboxing dojo. Then the main brackets lit up, 4 pilot teams, double elimination, last robot standing. Announcers treated every knockdown like a title fight upset, replaying slow-motion shots where sparks popped from hip joints or shoulder servos flexed under impact. The internet did what it always does, fanned the flames. Overnight, search traffic for Unitree G1 smashed records. Rumors that the broadcast used CGI smoothing on missed punches only poured gasoline on the fire. Authentic or not, the spectacle did its job. One viral arena can pry open wallet after wallet faster than a dozen white paper demos. Scientists were just as thrilled. Fighting is a brutal systems test. Violent collisions, abrupt shifts in center of mass, unpredictable angles of interference. If a robot can survive a spinning heel kick, warehouse collisions and factory bumps start to look tame. Engineers in attendance took furious notes, already planning firmware tweaks before the brackets even ended. But the ring was only the opening bell. While those machines were learning how to dodge jabs, a different breed of algorithm quietly learned how to cut your next viral video for you. The $120 billion sprint. The morning after the final knockout, China's Institute of Electronics doubled down on its forecast, an 870 billion yuan humanoid robotics market, about $120 billion by 2030. Venture capitalists barely finished reading the headline before fresh term sheets flooded Unitree, EngineAI, and Booster Robotics, 3 startups already teasing a December Mecha Grand Prix in Shenzhen. Insiders say the follow-up event will feature heavier frames, higher strike speeds, and, most provocatively, the first semi-autonomous rounds, where the robots make split-second combat choices without a human pilot's nudge. Skeptics point out that heavier frames equal higher kinetic energy, ratings bonanza if everything works, a legal nightmare if something fails. Chinese insurance underwriters are scrambling to decide whether robot combat events belong in the same risk category as motorsports or somewhere even more hazardous. Meanwhile, regulators have floated on-site kill switch marshals, Personnel with override tablets who can shut down a bot mid-swing. Athletes hate it for breaking flow, CEOs hate it for scaring sponsors, and yet the debate itself only sharpens public curiosity. The hype is contagious. Japanese conglomerates with deep pockets are rumored to be scouting talent in Hangzhou. South Korean broadcasters want syndication rights. Even Las Vegas promoters have inquired about bringing a robot rumble stateside. The comparison to early 2000s esports isn't just poetic, it's business arithmetic. Esports revenues ballooned 100-fold in 15 years once someone figured out how to package spectacle for mainstream advertisers. Robot combat could follow the same curve, only faster because the machines also double as research platforms. And while the brawlers chase fame, Silicon Valley is quietly transforming a far more ubiquitous arena. The screen you're holding right now. AI editors that never sleep. Imagine typing top 10 ocean facts into a chat box and 60 seconds later you're watching a crisp 30-second TikTok, royalty-free footage, punchy captions, and a trending beat soundtrack, all perfectly timed. That's the newest Deep Agent update. Give it a single sentence and it storyboards, edits, scores, and captions the whole short. It even syncs number graphics to the beat so viewers' thumbs stay frozen above the scroll gesture. Deep Agent isn't alone. Google's Hush Hush Flow reportedly marries the company's Imagen image model to its VO video generator, cranking out enterprise-grade shorts agencies once spent billable hours crafting. Adobe, never content to sit out a tool race, slipped a beta Firefly video fill inside Premiere, promising selective AI edits that leave timelines intact. A wave of smaller startups, Clipforge, Snapdraft, RealPilot, are pitching niche versions for sports highlights, product ads, even wedding montages. Like this video? Then hit like and subscribe to help us with the algorithm and show the video to even more people. Professional editors are split. Some shrug it off as formulaic spam no client will want. Others lose sleep, picturing inboxes clogged with quick revisions automated tools can spit out in minutes. A freelance guild's petition for mandatory AI-generated watermarks made the rounds last week. Not because they expect governments to enforce one soon, but because they need talking points to remind clients that humans still matter. Deep Agent sweetened the pot with a weekly contest. Best video gets $2,500 and a feature across their socials. Suddenly, hobbyists who never opened Premiere are entering, and post houses are recalculating rates. The new math is cruel. Charge less, learn faster, or surrender low-margin projects to bots that never sleep, never unionize, and never ask for creative credit. And while artistic livelihoods tilt, another robotics firm smells opportunity in a demographic crisis that can't wait for labor law rewrites. The 20K robot caregiver. At the Beyond Expo in Macau, UB Tech finally dropped cold numbers for its long-teased consumer humanoid. Price, $20,000 US. Launch window, late 2025. Pilot batch, 1,000 units with plans to ramp tenfold by 2026 and slash per unit margins under volume. Sticker shock fades when you compare. A year of in-home elder care can blow past 20 grand in many Chinese cities, and the country's over 65 population is projected to breach 400 million by the end of the decade. In boardrooms, that statistic rings louder than any bell in a robot boxing arena. UB Tech's prototype doesn't promise chef-level cooking or full laundry folding, yet, but it can handle medication reminders, basic mobility aid, and light pick-and-place chores, enough to postpone hiring full-time help for a parent recovering from surgery. The company's demo showed the bot guiding an elderly man from bed to chair, then fetching a glass of water without sloshing a drop. Critics noted the scene was tightly choreographed. UB Tech countered that reliability, not flash, sells to families making healthcare decisions. Financially, UB Tech needs a knockout. It posted a 1.1 billion won loss last year, and Hong Kong-listed shares bled 45%. Executives lean into the adversity narrative. Hot competition weeds out weak players, and government subsidies reward milestones, not slogans. The specter looming over every investor call is Tesla Optimus. Elon Musk claims a similar price point and broader skill set by 2026. History reminds us Musk's timelines flex, but if even half his promise lands, UB Tech's window to become the trusted caregiver brand narrows fast. Logistics might be the real boss fight. Battery supply chains, regional repair hubs, software patch compliance with China's stringent data security rules. Yet, if UB Tech can ship even a fraction of its target, it changes the psychological calculus. My car cost more. Maybe a robot nurse for mom isn't crazy. Once that conversation feels normal, The leap from factory floors to living rooms is no longer science fiction. But across the Pacific, the US Army isn't calculating comfort, it's measuring survival. Porton Man, War Zone, Dress Rehearsal. Deep in Utah's desolate Dugway Proving Ground, engineers are assembling something that won't throw punches or pour coffee. Meet Porton Man, a life-size mannequin modeled after exhaustive soldier anthropometry surveys, packed with more than 100 pressure, temperature, and chemical sensors. Its mission is brutal in its simplicity. Don a full chemical biological protective suit, step into a stainless steel chamber, and endure lethal agent simulants, while technicians log exactly where microscopic leaks bloom. The concept originated in the UK, named after the Porton Down Research Campus, but renting overseas lab time is expensive and politically awkward. Washington cut a $1.7 million check for a domestic unit with an option for a twin if the first proves its worth. Delivery, 18 to 24 months. Dugway's West Desert Test Center is already retrofitting its multi-agent chamber. Picture a giant stainless steel coffin laced with pipes to accommodate the newcomer. Porton Man isn't just a crash test dummy with fancy joints. It can march, jog, kneel, and belly crawl, movements that stress gear far beyond stationary mannequins. High-speed cameras and spectral analyzers stitch leak maps into 3D visualizations. One dataset can rewrite an entire procurement spec, sparing real soldiers from discovering a faulty glove seal in the middle of a live incident. The mannequin is also programmable. Tweak gait cadence, change rifle carry posture, simulate exhaustion tremors. Every variable gives analysts more confidence before greenlighting new equipment. The Army showcased Porton Man during National Robotics Week to broadcast a broader point. Robotics isn't just about frontline firepower, it's about creating test surrogates for environments too lethal or too legally fraught for human trials. A robot that takes a chemical bullet now saves lives later. Reality check and rumblings. Hype invites scrutiny. Within hours of China's robot fight livestream, armchair sleuths slowed the footage, hunting for mismatched shadows they claimed betrayed CGI cleanup. Event organizers swore every pixel came straight from the cameras. Public opinion split down the middle, half exhilarated, half skeptical, all glued to the debate. Regulators sensed a tipping point. A leaked European Commission white paper outlines humanoid public demonstration guidelines, proposing mandatory emergency stop beacons, on-site ethics officers, and black box data recorders for any robot performing in front of crowds. Lobbyists predict a buzzkill. Safety advocates call it overdue. The document also floats fines for unsanctioned autonomous combat. No one wants to be the first country whose sporting event goes viral for dismemberment. Ethicists warn of spectacle creep as audiences cheer robots through increasingly human stunts. Boxing, caregiving, battlefield simulation, the psychological barrier to deploying them in real conflicts or workplaces erodes. The same algorithm stabilizing a spinning back kick can steer a warehouse loader or a riot control drone. Each new demo nudges public sentiment. If it performed flawlessly on TV under lights and pressure, why not on my factory floor? Meanwhile, labor unions watch the care robot pitch with unease. Replacing caregivers isn't as visually dramatic as robot boxing, but the socioeconomic ripple could be wider. When machines take over the intimate, emotionally charged chores of elder care, the debate over human dignity versus efficiency will make the CGI argument look quaint. In one whirlwind week, robots threw haymakers on live TV, stitched viral videos faster than you can brew coffee, pitched themselves as home nurses, and rehearsed survival drills most soldiers pray they never face. Each domain, sport, creativity, caregiving, defense, feels separate, yet they all point to a single truth. Machines aren't waiting for permission anymore. They're training for roles once reserved for flesh and blood. So here's your parting thought. When a bot can entertain you, care for your parents, and stand in for soldiers all before lunch, how long until one asks for a locker next to yours? Draw your line in the sand down in the comments. Hit that like button if this ride kept your pulse up, and subscribe for the next deep dive. The bell for round 2 is already ringing. Thanks for watching. Check out the links in the description, take a deep breath, and see you next time.